What up, everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to a live edition of Foul Territory. I'm pinch hitting for Scott Braun. I'm your host, Alanna Rizzo, alongside two guys you guys know very well, Erik Kratz, AJ Pierzynski. AJ is in the wilderness. He is in the out. He's in North Carolina at a USA Baseball tournament that his son is participating in. So we're actually going to talk to the head of USA Baseball, Erick Campbell, momentarily. Great lineup of guests today, guys. We have Erick Fedde, we have Eric Campbell, we have Ken Rosenthal, Tommy Kahnle is on the program too. So AJ, let's get to you really quick. How is your son playing, and what's this format? What do you got going on out there?
It's just the national or 17U travel ball championships. They're 1-1. They won one and lost one yesterday, and my son did good. And now we have a game today in about half an hour. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, good luck to him, and let's take a time now to charge the mound, boys. Let's get into the show.
He's charging the mound.
All right, Kratz, we're going to start with the fact that the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays apparently have made a move. Cavan Biggio, of course, son of a Hall of Famer, never really got a lot of traction going in Toronto, but perhaps he's exactly what the Dodgers need to boost the bottom end of their order or to get things going there offensively. Ben Nicholson-Smith saying Blue Jays have traded Cavan Biggio to the Dodgers for a minor league player per a source. Neither team has made it official, but if in fact, Kratz, it is, what's your take on this one?
Two things. Cavan Biggio is a great, he controls the strike zone, does not swing out of the strike zone, sometimes doesn't even swing on the edges of the strike zone. That's been his superpower since he came up to the big leagues. It hasn't, like you said, made traction for him to get that career that you thought he was going to have when he came to the big leagues. And we just talked to Max Muncy about it yesterday. Maybe they need some guys that can take pitches. Not every out is equal to every other out. Sometimes when you see a lot of pitches, maybe that can help wear the pitcher down. Maybe it can help other guys feel like, okay, now I can be more aggressive. So that could be a positive for him. Also, man, anytime the Dodgers pick somebody up, you're like, what do they know? What is it? It's like the Rays with pitchers. It's like, oh, they just got this guy. And you're like, actually, no, we're not looking to trade him. So you never know what they're going to unlock with Cavan.
Agreed.
You're so right. It's almost like they reinvent guys there, right? Guys go there and all of a sudden they just get like a second birth of their career. AJ, you think this is a good move?
It's an interesting move because what do they do with Mr. Gavin Lux now? Because aren't they kind of the same player? Second baseman, left-handed hitter, deep count contact guys. That's an interesting move because what do they do with Gavin Lux? He was supposed to be not only their shortstop of the future, but now their second baseman of the future. So what does this mean for Gavin Lux? Biggio never got, the going in Toronto, like Kratzy said, but the better question is the baby Blue Jays, remember? Vlad, Biggio, Bichette. This is the first sign of a breakup, and then with Bichette and Vlad set to be free agents after next year, are we going to see the end of the baby Blue Jays?
And according to Jeff Passan, guys, reliever Braden Fisher is heading back to Toronto for Cavan Biggio. So it appears that Cavan Biggio's time in Toronto is over. It'll be interesting to see what moves, you're right, AJ, what moves the Dodgers make. Perhaps if they do actually sign him to the 40-man, who knows? I don't know if he's going to make the 26-man, the 40-man. Maybe they move one of their...
Alanna, but you tell us. You're the Dodger expert.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. They don't. I mean, I don't think they're going to send Lux out. I certainly don't think that. I mean, I think in order to get him on the 40-man, they're going to move one of their, hurt relievers to the 60-day IL. I think if anything, Outman stays in AAA. Pajes perhaps goes back to AAA. I don't know. They have a mess in the infield right now. Obviously, Mookie's their shortstop. Which I don't know if I necessarily still agree with that decision, but I don't know. You're not going to get rid of Chris Taylor just contractually. I don't think you're going to eat that. Maybe it's Kike, although Kike's a right-handed hitter and Cavan Biggio is not. I don't know. They've got a lot of question marks in the middle of the infield. I think is a huge question mark for that team, but so is the back end of their bullpen too. What?
Alanna, real quick for you, because you have more of the inside info here. Why would they just keep with Gavin Lux? If Gavin Lux has the same opportunity to go down, even with what Cavan's doing, what they think he's doing is below what he should be doing. His on base percentage is higher. Neither of them are really hitting for much power. Why is Gavin Lux, or what have you heard? Is Gavin Lux cemented into his spot.
Well, I mean, he was a very high draft pick, and I think a lot of times you don't want to admit that maybe you mistook a player. I think I still have faith that Gavin's going to be able to figure it out. I think obviously when he didn't get the starting shortstop spot coming out of spring training because the arm wasn't there, I think that kind of crushed him mentally. I just think that he's within the organization, whereas Biggio's coming from outside the organization as perhaps a complementary piece. Again, I'm not privy to the closed door conversations that the Los Angeles Dodgers are having. I just don't know. I think maybe he's a complement piece off the bench versus an everyday guy at second base. I still would put, I don't know. I kind of like Miggy getting a lot more time. Miggy Rojas getting a lot more time than he is. I understand it's an age thing and you want to protect his legs and all of that stuff. But the middle of the infield is definitely a question mark. And so is outfield production for the Los Angeles Dodgers too, with the exception of what Teoscar Hernandez is doing. Although yesterday, home run, home run, home run, home run, home run. So let's talk about that game, by the way, guys. The World Series champion Texas Rangers come into Dodger Stadium for a 3-game set, and the Dodgers just tee off. 4 home runs in 1 inning. It's already 7-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dodgers end up winning 15-2. Shohei getting into the home run action. Ohtani, Freeman, Teoscar, and Hayward. Erik Kratz. This is a team, when they can hit, they can really hit. Again, at the top of the order, though.
The top of the order, yes. I'm not going to make too much out of Hayward's home run. Ohtani's always going to hit homers. Teoscar's been hitting homers. When Freddie goes left center at night in LA, to me, he is the most dangerous that way. And the other day, he just missed one. It was a fastball up and away, and he tried to go that way, and it went to the wall, and it was like, ooh. So to me, that's a great sign. When he's getting the ball out to left center, not just a great sign for Freddie, but a great sign for the entire team, because that means he's getting into his legs and he's driving the ball more. Hayward's going to get his. That guy, poor guy just stayed out there. I'm not even sure who that was pitching by the end there, but they just kept teeing off that inning.
And
what about the stand? Yeah, go ahead.
Expected, right?
What you wanted,
out
right?
Of the Dodgers, this is what they built, right? The top of the order is super strong. Obviously, we talked to Max yesterday. They're counting on Max to be there for him. He's injured right now, but the bottom of the order has to figure something out, because without Max Muncy, you need Gavin Lux, you need Cavan Biggio if he's there, you need somebody after Teoscar to do some damage, because the top 4, 5, 6 of this lineup is as good as anywhere when they're all right. But if they don't do it that way, man, it is ugly at the bottom right now.
And guys, sometimes this game is what have you done for me lately? And you're talking about why you stick with Gavin Lux over Cavan Biggio. At least Gavin Lux right now hitting .321 in his last 8 games. Does that mean that he's figured something out? I don't know. I think the two of you said it best the other day, that sometimes you go 10 for 15 and you figured it out, and then you change absolutely nothing, and then you go for an 0 for 20 slump. So at least he's playing better as of late, perhaps having to force the issue that he still belongs in that lineup every single day. I don't know. What did you guys think, Eric? I'll start with you on the nice standing ovation and reception for World Series champion, World Series MVP Corey Seager. Obviously came up through the Dodgers organization and meant a lot to LA when he was there.
And wasn't re-signed by LA, who signs everybody. So to me, there should be zero hard feelings, and this is how a fan base who has had a generational talent, and there's no hard feelings. Like, I don't know that there was any contract negotiations or anything like that, but he didn't resign. It's not his fault, and they treated him exactly how you should treat a young player who came up and really grew up in your organization.
I mean, to be fair though, Kratzy, I don't know that Seager actually wanted to. I'm sure he would have stayed in LA, but I do know for a fact he had a tremendous relationship with Chris Woodward, the former Dodgers third base coach that ended up being the manager of the Texas Rangers before that went south, and they brought in Bruce Bochy, of course, Hall of Fame manager. I think Corey really, wanted to go to Texas. I don't think it wasn't that LA wanted to re-sign him. I think they both agreed that it was in the best interest that he didn't. And maybe they thought at the time Gavin Lux was their future at short. I mean, you can't replace Corey Seager, but I don't think there were any hard feelings in between. What's one of the best receptions, Kratz, that you've noticed when a guy goes back to his former team? There's a couple I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm interested to know what you think.
Best receptions. I mean, when Chase went back to
Yeah.
Philly, like that one, I'm sure. Were you with the Dodgers at that point?
Yeah, I
When
was. It was
yeah,
insane. Yep.
like that's awesome. Like he, especially from a place like Philly that will give people even just like a sarcastic hard time. They didn't give him a hard like it was exactly how a generational talent. There's a generation of kids and women in Philadelphia that loved Chase Utley. And
Not men,
so
just women and kids.
not right. The guys named their dogs after him. The kids wanted to wear his jersey, and the women just wanted to see him.
Just wanted to
So
be with him.
right, just wanted to be with him. But yes, that one. I'm trying to think other ones. Pujols when he went back to St. Louis the first time, not even just the first time, the last time too when he went back. Like that was pretty cool to see.
I think the Chase one is up there for me. I thought most recently, obviously, when Rhys Hoskins went back to Philadelphia. I don't know, maybe Philly fans are just starting to grow a little bit of a bigger heart. You know, when Rhys Hoskins went back as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers, they gave Rhys a nice ovation, then he proceeds to hit a home run. And Chase hit, I think, 2 home runs in that game when he went back as a Dodger. So that was a good one, too. It's always nice to go home again, I guess, if you will. Let's talk a little bit about Paul Skenes and Miles Michaelis. We're having a little bit of technical issues with AJ out there in North Carolina, but he'll join us back in a second. All right, so Skenes and Michaelis, we talked about it yesterday, Kratz. We talked about the stash. Michaelis has gotten a better stash because he's more of a, like a finesse guy. You want Skenes to have more of a goatee is what AJ said. But I tell you what, it's not often you go to an opposing park and you get a standing O from the opposing fans. And he did get just that. He got a standing ovation from Cardinals fans. Once again, Paul Skenes showing Eric why he's going to be a star in this league.
Absolutely. I mean, to enamor St. Louis fans, all you have to do is play really good baseball. Like they respected him in that way. Like you see the video for the podcast is a video of an Arenado fan tipping his cap, and the stands, like everybody, not everybody, but a lot of St. Louis fans either were stretching their legs or they were giving him a standing ovation as he was leaving. That's got to feel good. I mean, that's a division opponent, and this is very St. Louis, though. This is very St. Louis in the sense that they understand when they're seeing something awesome, and they appreciate that. I remember I made a diving catch one time in St. Louis, and they were like, yeah, I could hear a guy who's like, hey, nice catch, bud. I was like, whoa, like they just appreciate baseball, and it's fun to watch. But I did not have Michaelis being the one that had a no-hitter going deeper than Skenes, but it was a great pitching matchup.
It really was. Michaelis went 7 innings with the 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. AJ, welcome back. We're going to get your take on this matchup yesterday. Skenes goes 6 1/3, guys. 5 hits, no walks. You got to love the control there. 8 strikeouts. According to Sarah Langs, the wonderful Sarah Langs, Paul Skenes has thrown 60 Major League Baseball pitches at 100 miles an hour or more this season. The next closest starter is Jose Soriano with 33. So, AJ, your opinion on what you saw from Skenes yesterday dominating the Cardinals lineup? Obviously, Michaelis had a nice outing as well. Good matchup in the NL Central.
Go get a hitter. Please, Pittsburgh. Please go spend some money and go get some offense, because you have Skenes, you have Jared Jones, you have the rest of these guys, you have Mitch Keller, you have these guys that can get you deep into games. Your bullpen is good with Holderman and Bednar and Chapman. Go get some dang hitters so you might make the playoffs and make everybody proud in Pittsburgh.
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, there's so many guys so many teams rather, that are just a handful of games away from actually participating in the postseason with 2 wild cards in each league. It'd be unfortunate if Pittsburgh doesn't go after somebody to complement what they're doing on the mound with Jones and Skenes. Kratz, is that fair to say?
It's fair to say, but are they going to do it?
I don't know.
History says no. But it was a little different this year. They went all in with, picking up Marco Gonzalez, and they went all in with picking up Jose Quintana the other year. Like that's their all in. Like, to me, go get somebody. Exactly what AJ said. Are they 2.5 or 3.5 games behind the second wild card?
Let me look. I
because
can look right now.
they're tied. They're tied for the last wild card right now, which I had no idea. This is up for grabs. And if you take those fringe teams, I looked at the standings before, and those fringe teams, nobody has a better top three. And that's what the playoffs is about. In Pittsburgh, it's about to get hot, and the balls are going to start flying out of that ballpark. And when you have three guys that can throw like that, you should be making a deep playoff run because you have three starters and an elite closer that can take you there. That can take you there, but you need another back.
Pittsburgh Pirates are 6.5 games behind the Brew Crew in the NL Central. They are right there tied for that second wild card spot. Yeah, it's insane. It's going to be a weird race. I think the only compelling race really is the AL East and perhaps the AL West, but there's going to be a lot of people fighting for those wild card spots. By the way, the Cavan Biggio trade has been made official by the club, so there you have it. What do you guys think about the Pittsburgh Pirates trading for Pete Alonso? It doesn't seem like Alonso is going to be getting an extension, at least a long-term extension in season. Maybe in the offseason he goes back to the Mets. I don't know. Would they do that, AJ? Would they bring in Polar Bear to Pittsburgh? No?
Nope. I mean, I'd love to see him do it. Milwaukee tried last year, right? But I don't see the Pirates making that move. He's going to be a free agent. They're going to want somebody that has like 5 years of controllability on him. And Pete Alonso,
but even as a rental, just to try to get into the postseason, doesn't matter. Okay.
Have you seen the Pirates, Alana? Have you watched the Pirates?
I have watched them. Usually when Skenes or Jones is pitching, and that's it. But I mean, even as a rental to force the issue.
No, because they won't be able to offer him a qualifying offer and get the draft pick because he's traded in the season, right? So that that's Pittsburgh looks at all that stuff.
But before Ken was talking about, like, if you look at the history of the market for a power hitter, a power right-handed hitting first baseman in the trades, you're not looking at, like, if you go for somebody that has club control, the Pirates would have to get rid of a lot. And they wouldn't have to get rid of that much for Pete Alonso.
Tell the Mets that.
Tell the Mets that on June 12th. It's a little bit different later on in the season.
Imagine the firepower that would bring over and how excited Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh is such a great sports town. Imagine how excited they would be if they got Pete Alonso in that lineup to try to force the issue and get into the postseason.
Yeah, but imagine if they get a very small return back for him, and Mets fans are like, "We traded Pete Alonso for shit."
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it from a Mets side. I just think it'd be fun to see in a perfect world if that would happen.
Why not go get Luis Robert Jr.? He's under control for a couple of years. He'll bring electricity to Pittsburgh. Why not go get him? Why not go get? I'm trying to think of guys under control.
He makes more than $10 million a year.
So does Pete Alonso.
But not after this year, he won't. Not as a Pirate. And Nutting never wants to go over $10 million. This is the first time he's ever gone over $10 million. Oh, sorry. Last year, when Key Brian Hayes signed his extension, his first year of the contract was $10 million, and then it went down from there. And then Brian Reynolds, this year, his extension went over $10 million a year. So he's changed his threshold.
Well, it's always easier to spend money when it's not yours. Let's take a look at some stuff in terms of matchups for today, gentlemen, with our friends at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, so they have you covered for all of your baseball ticket needs. We appreciate them, as always. SeatGeek, thanks for being a part of the show. There's a lot of games going on today. I think it's a full slate of games as far as maybe 15 games going. So, Eric, I'll start with you. Any particular matchups that we should be getting SeatGeek seats for?
Any particular matchup? I mean...
Yeah, anything you like today?
Oh, man. Because we're only picking the night games, I love Fenway. I haven't been to Fenway, and I've been doing all the matchups with pitchers and everything. And maybe my Philly bias is taking me to Fenway, but even when there's no fans in the stands, there was energy in Fenway. So I'm going up to Fenway with a little Nick Pivetta and a Christopher Sanchez matchup.
Christopher Sanchez. Yeah, Phillies and Red Sox I like. Even though the Red Sox aren't having the best year, I can understand why that matchup intrigues you. All right, speaking of Homer, are you doing Cannon and Miller between the White Sox and Seattle, AJ, or what are you taking today?
That was funny, right? I mean, we know you're going to L.A. to see Bueller.
No, I'm not. I don't even know who's pitching for the Rangers. It's TBD. It's that TBD guy.
I love that guy. No, I'm going to. Are you kidding me? I'm going to San Francisco, out in the Bay Area.
Okay.
They love me out there. I'm going to see Fromber and Logan Webb. And if you're a worm, be careful out there because you're going to get burnt because there's going to be a lot of grounders and a lot of worm burners hit because those dudes throw sinkers. And in San Francisco, we all know how hard it is to hit. So I want to see those two dudes pitch. I'm still a starting pitching matchup guy no matter what.
Yeah, Valdez and Webb is a good one. I can relate to that. Washington and Detroit, nah, not so much. The Cubbies,
Alanna
Miami,
can't choose the Giants for anything. Like she would lose all of her blue blood that she just has cooped up.
Yeah, that's true. I probably get crucified for that. Although, I mean, obviously I respect Logan Webb and Valdez. I don't know. I do want to see Bueller get back on the horse, though. Is that fair? I mean, I think that we didn't know what he was going to – we didn't know what he was going to give us coming off of Tommy John surgery. And, I'd like to see Butane get going again.
It gives you something to talk about on Dodgers territory.
On Dodgers territory, which is tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern with my pal Clint Pasillas. Let me ask you this, though. If the season were to start tomorrow, who were your first 3 starters in a best-of-5 series for LA? And is it Bueller? Are you putting Bueller in there?
Glasnow, Yamamoto.
Who's your third? Stone?
Paxton's kind of.
What about Gavin Stone?
Stone's been pretty good.
Gavin Stone has stones. I don't know if you noticed how well he pitched in Yankee Stadium.
Can I pick Bobby Miller?
No, he's hurt.
Yeah. No.
No. So you can't pick Kershaw either because Kershaw's not back yet, or Dustin May.
I guess my fourth would have to be
Blake Trinan.
Whoever they trade for. Ryan Yarbrough.
Could we have a starter, please, instead of Blake Trinan? You're just going to have an opener?
Nope. That's where you're. To me, I take Gavin Stone. Of the starters right now, Gavin Stone's 3, and then you're not even for your fourth pitcher. They're going to go bullpen guy.
Bullpen game, yeah.
I mean, with Yarbrough, I think Ryan's done so well, and it's very underrated because he doesn't strike out guys. But to me, he's had an above-average season, and he has given them the innings that they really need. That he's staying healthy too. So it's like, I get it. Bobby Miller is the guy. I would much rather have Bobby Miller out there, but it's not part of this equation right now.
Yeah, they have had a lot of injuries to their starting staff, but nobody feels sorry for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I get it. Let's hear more from our Foul Territory crew on SeatGeek.
FT is headed to the MLB All-Star Game this year, and there's only one way you should be finding tickets for any ball game. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, so they have you covered for all of your baseball ticket needs.
I'm super pumped to hit the Futures game this year. That new skills competition looks electric.
I agree, Kratz. It's like the Olympics for baseball. Cannot wait to see that. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Baseball season's in full swing, and you don't want to miss out. SeatGeek has your tickets to every game and, of course, concerts, festivals, and more.
Every ticket's backed by their buyer guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event with swaps.
And Kratz, you know FT came through for the people. Use our code FOUL for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code FOUL. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app, please.
All right. Thanks for that, SeatGeek. We appreciate it. Tommy Kahnle, hello. How are you? Looking good, my friend. Welcome back to the Foul Territory show. We appreciate it. You guys are playing really well. There's not a lot of negativity when it surrounds the New York Yankees. Glad to hear that. What has been the most exciting thing for you about the way that this season has played out?
Just being back with the team, coming back to the team. They were already, doing really well and just kind of just gelling right into that. And it's great to be a part of it, and it's great to keep on winning,
Tommy, let me ask you this. Tommy, before we even get into it, did you go full Nair? I know you had a bad outing, you shaved your body. Did you go full Nair? Like, did it take is it taking a couple days to recover from how much you had to shave?
Yeah. You could say, I went full shave.
How did that start, by the way? Why do you punish yourself if you have a bad outing, shaving your entire body?
I don't even know. It's just like some crazy superstition. I think it worked. I just did it once and it worked for quite a while. So now I just do it all the time. Sometimes guys will just go full uni in the shower. That's one way. I've seen that plenty of times. You just rinse all you off.
You know what? Start your day off better is making your bed. Good Lord, Tommy, look at that thing. Look at that thing. I mean, one time, make your bed. You don't need someone else to make your bed for you.
Nah, this is the road. I get away from the kids. I get to sleep in. So I'm going to take advantage of that.
How deep do you sleep in? Most people are like, oh man, big leaguers, they get this. Like, when does Tommy Kahnle wake up from a night game after a night game?
All right, night game. So today was 10:30. Typically, I used to be like noon.
So you're mature now. You're much more mature.
A little bit. Tiny bit.
Okay. So then, I mean, kids will do that to you. But if you go, so you went ESPN game at night at home out to KC. Yeah. What time did you get in from that game? And when do you end up like stirring out of bed? And do you set an alarm, or are you like, I just got to make sure I make the third bus going to the field?
Yeah, that night we got in. It was like 3. I went to bed probably close to 3:30. Alarm was set for like 11:30. Snoozed it a few times, and then next thing you know, I woke up. It was 12:30.
All right, so Tommy, I got to ask you this.
In a panic.
All right. Yeah. Are you a let the maid in person, or because it looks like you're not, or are you a put the do not disturb sign? Because I was put the do not disturb sign on my room until I checked out, and then I'd leave the maid $20, even though because my room usually had some dirtiness to it, because you order room service, you just leave it there and never take it out. Yeah. Or are you a take the disturb off and let the maid into your room every day?
So I would say over the last few years, I've been a do not disturb on the entire stay, and then let them find the massacre after the aftermath. I used to back in the day be every day, but I don't know. I guess you get older and just don't feel like having people in my room.
Okay, so I got a question for you before Kratz goes. Just real quick on this. Why the obsession of making the bed? I don't understand it. I'm not a make the bed person at all. Kratz always comments on it. I'm getting back into the bed. It's just me in the bed. Nobody else has been in the bed. So why do I need someone to make it? It's me. I'm getting back in the same dirty bed I was in before. It's like the maid's coming in and fixing the sheets every night. Like I don't understand that obsession of people like Alanna.
Start your day with a win. Have you ever read the book Make Your Bed?
I start my day with a win by getting up.
It's short and it doesn't have pictures, but it's short. It's easy. It's an easy read. It's fantastic. It's about how just making your bed like catapults you into productive positivity the rest of the day. No, you're not doing it?
I agree. And I have to admit, I'm not the one that makes our bed. My wife makes our bed. She loves it. I love when a bed is made. I think we're having a little bit of technicalities with the spotty internet in Kansas City, but
I think we irritated Tommy. He just left.
He just paused. He needed a break to go make his bed. It'd be great if the link came back up and his bed was completely made. That would be tremendous. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that if your bed is made, I agree with you, AJ, but I do appreciate a nicely made bed.
I mean, I do too, but I ain't making it.
When's the last time you made a bed, AJ?
Yesterday.
Okay, that just totally goes against what you were just saying then. Why'd you make the bed?
Because I was on the show, and when I was doing my test, I was in a hotel room. Jeremy and Claudia and all you make bed people were like, well, the bed's not made behind you. I was like, shit.
By the way, Corbin Burns also talked about that. The first thing he does is make a bed, and he's shoving all year. So,
AJ doesn't see the correlation. He doesn't like AJ doesn't like correlation. He was superstitious, but he's not. He doesn't see the correlation of team meals and winning and making your bed and winning the day. So he's not a correlation man.
Wait. Team meals. So like if you went out and had a team dinner and then you guys won, like you don't believe in that correlation, or what? What do you mean?
No, I don't believe it, because I was on bad teams that had plenty of team dinners. It didn't make us win more. It made us have more fun losing. But I was on good teams that had team dinners, and that was fun. I mean, so I think it's something you do in the big leagues. You have team dinners, and if you're a good team, then everyone's like, oh, it's because we're having team dinners. And if you're a bad team, they're like, yeah, we had a team dinner. It didn't help, but it was still a nice dinner.
All right. What's the most expensive dinner that you ever spotted, AJ?
Oh, so we used to do a thing in Chicago, okay? And this, I don't even know if this has ever been put out there before, but we used to do a thing, and I don't know how it started. It started as a thing with Jim Thome, where you had to go, if you did something, I don't know what it was, but you had to go and buy $100 gift card for every guy on the team.
Ooh.
Okay? Yeah, so and that included like coaches, so it cost you like $4,000 to $5,000. And it was like, so it was like $100 to Nordstrom, $100 to Best Buy, $100 to Apple, $100 here, $100 there. But you had to do it for the whole team. I don't even remember how it started. So then one day, Jim Thome and I got to talking trash to each other, and he bought dinner somewhere, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it in Minnesota. And it was at Fogo de Chao, and it was literally everybody had to come. I don't know what the final bill was, but it was expensive. Let's just say that. It was not a cheap, we're going to split it. Thome bought it somewhere, and then he said, oh, you won't do it. And I'm like, okay, next road trip, Fogo de Chao, we're all set, everyone come. And 40 people showed up, and we had a dinner.
Wow.
And, you know.
Fogo de Chao, like drinks and dessert and everything?
Mm-hmm. The whole deal. Paid for everything. Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have any rookie like credit card roulette stories where rookies shit their pants because they thought that they had to pay for a big league dinner and they were like making minor league minimum?
No. The only one, you guys did it? And did you make them pay?
Oh, yeah. Then we gave them cash.
Oh, I was about to say.
But then we gave them cash. No, we did. You used to what you do is you put the tape on the credit card. So you tell the server, you say, hey, pick the one with the tape on it. And they don't know that there's tape on the credit card. So the server, and then just watch their face. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's the best. It was the greatest. Because they're like, and this is back, listen, this is, guys are making 150, 200 grand. We're making 750 grand like they are now. So people were like, their face would go white. Oh, I can't afford that. And you're like, yes, you can, Rook. Let's go.
Luke Hochhaver had to pay because they made him pay. He didn't even get his signing bonus hadn't even come through yet. So he was like trying to max out his credit cards to pay. They never paid him back. They never gave him the money back. I'm like, they missed the whole part of it. Like, hey, don't make this guy pay. But because he signed for so much, they were jealous of him, I think.
Tommy, welcome back. Did you make your bed? Is that why you went away for a little bit? Oh, dang. We thought
didn't go make the bed. Yeah, a little technical difficulties here.
Do you have any horror stories about either as a rookie going out with the big league club and being forced to pay with credit card roulette, or is there a meal that you remembered taking care of?
Never had to pay for anything really as a rookie. It was nice. It was kind of like everything was paid for by the older guys.
You ever see one? Did you ever see a good one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you're lucky.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, talking about somebody that's going to have some cash, this is there's a super chat from our chat fan referee. What do you think, Tommy? Soto staying in New York?
I hope so.
But I mean, what do you see? Like, does he seem like he's engaged with the guys? Clearly, he's having a great year. But like, is he engaged with the guys? Is there like chat? Looking for, not that you see him looking for a place to buy, but like, what are the conversations in the locker room surrounding him or with him?
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets along with him. He's always talking to everybody. I mean, it seems like he really likes it here. So I don't see why not. He would want to stay here, but it's going to be his choice at the end of the year. So I hope his time here is great and he enjoys it. Looks like he's having fun.
Hey, Tommy, is it a if Soto leaves, you leave kind of thing? Are you like Soto goes, I go? You're gonna like hold the line?
Oh man, I don't know if I have any play in his situation, but I'd love to come back.
Well, here's
Tommy,
a real question then. So it's really only going to matter, are Soto and Judge friends? Because if they're not getting along, ain't nobody coming back, because those two are going to be two peas in a pod for a long time.
Yeah, I think they look like they're getting along great, and I mean right now it is unbelievable watching those two. It's been probably let's see, it's probably the best tandem I've seen. As long as I've been playing, I don't think I've seen much better. But I'm sure there's been a lot of great tandems over the years, but in my eyes right now, I haven't seen anything better than that.
Tommy, just because of the guys that they are, or best like right-handed, left-handed tandem you've seen?
To be honest, I would say both. I mean, I've been around Judgy a long time. I've played video games with him for well over 10 years now. But it just seems as if those two, they get along great and they feed off each other on the field, and it's amazing to watch. It really has been. It's been a pleasure.
What's the game? I mean, 10 years, that's a long time. What's the game? He came up in 2017, so wait, how long? You knew him 2014 before anybody knew who Aaron Judge was?
So we used to play this game called Destiny, and it was actually when Judgy was in the minor leagues, and then I was. It's just we had a common friend in the Yankees system, so we kind of linked up, played this game together. And then when I got traded back over to the Yankees, that's the first time I ever actually met him. But I knew Judgy for a few years just playing video games with him. Funny.
You knew him. Yeah, you definitely knew him. Does he ever change?
Video game buds. What?
Does he ever change? Does his demeanor ever change?
Never. It's been the same guy forever.
Come on. What's the most mad you've ever seen him?
Maybe getting beaten FIFA? I don't know.
Like, does he throw? I mean, video games guys, like, you're the best FIFA player ever. I don't care what Higgy says. You are the best FIFA player. But
I don't know.
Yes. And tell Higgy I said that, unless Higgy's watching. But is Judgy a remote control thrower guy? Is he a control thrower? Like, do you hear him throw the controller down?
No, don't. I don't think I've seen him throw a controller, but I know I have thrown plenty of controllers throughout the years.
I know you have.
Yeah.
Tommy, so if you're on the road, are you getting up 90 minutes early to play Call of Duty? Since you don't have the kids, do you travel with the system? I mean, I know guys will bring their whole systems on the road with them. So are you working in an extra 90 minutes of your morning routine to play Call of Duty in peace, or what are you doing?
Without a doubt. It's actually right here in front of me. I usually, that's why I wake up. Let's see, I wake up at 10:30. I'll take the bus around 2, so I get a solid 90 minutes, like you said.
Wait, here's what I want to know. Tommy, here's what I want to know. If you and Judgy are on there playing, and you're playing online, and you're playing the game like Call of Duty where there's more than 2 people, or let's say you're playing like whatever you're playing, Destiny, whatever that game is. What's your is his screen name like A Judge 99, and you're like T Kahnle shaving my body? And then kids are like, there's no way this is Aaron Judge. And then you guys get on there and you get punked by like a 10-year-old kid, and he's like, yeah, fuck y'all. And Aaron Judge is like, I'm 6'7", 300. I will pick you up like a little child and just eat you.
Let's see. My name is definitely not anything closely related to what my name is. Can't give it out either. Secret.
No, I wouldn't know. Please don't give it out.
But let's see. Judgy's he's got. I'll say he's got multiple. That's all I'm gonna.
Oh,
multiple names.
He's like Kevin Durant on Twitter with the ghost. He goes to ghost people and he comes in, so he loses and then he comes in from the other name.
I think he forgot the password, so he just created a whole new account.
Judgy
I've
hits
seen a lot of people do that over the years. What?
Judgy hits 1,000,000 homers, but he's just like you guys out there. He forgets
Oh,
the
yeah.
password, and then he creates a new account. He just has extra money to create a new account, so that's where Judgy's different.
Tell
Tommy,
him there's this thing you can hit forget password, and it'll send you a link, and you can reset your password
Yeah.
instead of having to buy a new name. I don't know.
I think that then it's like they forget the password of the email, so it's a whole snowball effect.
It's not clean. I get that. But what is
Yeah.
clean are, can you talk about some candles in the clubhouse?
Yeah, I actually didn't notice it until probably the second game before we went on this road trip. I had no idea. I don't think I ever
You had
noticed
no
it.
idea?
No idea. Till one of the reporters brought it up, and I go, "Oh yeah, I didn't even notice. I had no clue."
And now do you notice? I mean, now do
Yeah,
you like,
every
does
day.
it bother you, or are you into it?
No, I mean they smell good. I don't know.
You didn't notice that your clubhouse didn't smell like feet? All of a sudden, your clubhouse smelled good?
No, you don't even notice. It's just something that just goes right over the head.
You're a simple
What's
man.
your flavor? What's your flavor though? What's like? Is it like orange blossom, or is it?
I don't know what they use, but I would go with like the woodsy one. It's like woods cashmere. I don't know what they're called.
Cashmere.
Yeah,
Woods
I
cashmere.
don't know. I used to have like this like those spray things, and it was like woods cashmere was like the scent.
That
It's
was
like
your
white
favorite?
linen.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know why.
Hey, we
Okay,
can get
all
you
right.
this thing. No, we can get them this thing, Kratz. It's called a thermocell. Use it when you're out hunting, and it sends out like woody smell. So you can just put one of those in your locker. It'll keep the mosquitoes away, and you'll
Love
have
that.
woods cashmere at the same time.
Need that.
Nice. Tommy, real quick for me, and then we'll let you go. What spread did you buy for the boys? Because I know G.
Ooh.
Cole, he kind of went hard. What did you get
Oh,
for the
no.
boys? Because we're gonna put you on blast if you didn't do something cool.
All right. Well, it depends. I rehabbed in 3 different spots. So
Yep.
I did 3 different spreads. I did in the FCL. I did Chick-fil-A and a bunch of donuts. They absolutely housed it. And then in Tampa, I got them Renzo's. It's a steakhouse.
Mhm.
And then
Burns.
I'm not a Burns fan. I don't like it. I'm a Charlie's guy. I should have went Charlie's. Well,
Charlie's.
I think Charlie's is better. I do.
Because you saw it on one of the airplane
what
magazines.
was your third one? Stop it, Tommy. Stop it.
I'm just saying. And then third one was Somerset. It was it's a steakhouse. I, to be honest, completely forgot the name. And I did donuts a lot while I was there.
Very nice of you. That's what
my
you're
go-to.
supposed to do. Proud of you as a
yeah.
veteran. I'm a little concerned about your fact that you don't know that the clubhouse smells differently, but other than that, it's all good. Tommy, we appreciate you, my friend. Have a good series against Kansas City. Thanks for taking the time to be on with the boys. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Tommy Kahnle, Yankees reliever. Guys, let's continue to talk about the Yanks before Ken Rosenthal joins us here momentarily on Foul. This is a team that doesn't have a lot of holes. We talked a little bit about it, obviously, and they're about to get Garrett Cole back. I mean, is there anybody in the American League that can compete with the Yankees right now, AJ?
Not if they're healthy. I don't think. The Orioles would be the closest one for me. But if the Yankees are healthy, right now they're the best. And I have a feeling, although Kratz said they don't usually go get somebody, they're going to go get a couple maybe smaller pieces to add to the fire.
What about the matchup of the Mariners pitching versus the Yankees hitting? They may never score a run, but I feel like when Judge, my thing is, why are teams continually throwing to Judge? It's not a slight on on Verdugo at all. It's not a slight on what G's been doing since he's been healthy, but you got to make somebody else beat you, and teams are just not. They're like, nah, this will be the time that we're going to get him. Whack. He's putting up video game numbers right now. I heard his last 32 games, yesterday I heard this, if he would continue that pace for 162, it was like 85 home runs, 192 RBIs, like just obnoxious what he's doing. Like they need someone else you need to let someone else beat you. And I think a pitching staff that can execute, like the Orioles or the Mariners, they might put up a fight. Mariners won't score any runs.
Let's see what the best insider in all of baseball thinks about what the Yankees are going to do, among other topics that he wants to talk about today here on Foul Territory. Ken Rosenthal, as usual, joining the program. We appreciate Kenny all the time, and you can catch Ken on Fair Territory on Mondays and Thursdays as well. Ken, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Just your really quick before we get to some of the things that you talked about in your most recent column. Are the Yankees, is there anybody else that can compete with them in the American League, to AJ's point, if they stay healthy?
The Orioles absolutely can. The Orioles are the top scoring team in the major leagues right now. They've got Corbin Burns having a Cy Young type season, Grayson Rodriguez, Kyle Bradish. Granted, their rest of the rotation might not be as good. Dean Kramer's not healthy right now. They've lost Means, they've lost Wells, but they're well positioned to mount a serious fight. I'm with Eric on the Mariners. They need to hit a little bit more before I'm convinced. And now with Brian Wu going for an MRI, that's concerning, obviously. But they're quite good as well. Those two teams, I guess, would be the ones I'd watch out for. But don't forget the Rangers. They're going to get pitching coming back, starting with Max and then Tyler Mahle and DeGrom. They're going to hit better. It's just been a weird offensive start for them. They haven't gotten untracked. So I expect them to be right there in this mix as well. And who knows, the Guardians, we cannot discount them. They need more starting pitching. There's no question about that. I don't know how they're going to get through the season. They're kind of like the Brewers in that regard. But what they've done offensively in transforming their entire way they go about it, it's really impressive. And I know the AL Central always gets knocked out early. But you know what? One of these years, one of these teams is going to rise up. And the Guardians are formidable right now. There's no question about that.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And they need, those teams need some absolute additions. But if the Yankees continue what they're doing in the history of what you've seen, I said it earlier, they don't make big moves. Everybody expects them to make big moves. Is there a chance that they upgrade in their bullpen where they're not striking anybody out? Or is it just another Cashman we piece little pieces together to ride the team that we already created in the offseason with the addition of Soto and Stroman and those things?
Eric, I guess I see what you're saying as far as monster moves. I don't know that they've made those over the years. For instance, Scherzer and Turner to the Dodgers, Manny Machado to the Dodgers. The Dodgers have done that more often. Yu Darvish was another example. The Yankees don't stand pat ever. They've done some things in recent years. Frankie Montas was one of them, didn't work out. Jordan Montgomery for Harrison Bader was another. That was okay. Joey Gallo was, at the time, a big move. Didn't work out. So I do not expect them to be passive going into this deadline. If anything, because of where they are, because of the chance that exists here for them to win their first World Series since 2009, I expect them to be quite aggressive. One thing that they're going to have to resolve here and figure out what they want to do with is first base and third base. Is Anthony Rizzo declining, or is he simply going through a little bit of a bad run here? Actually, it's a lot of a bad run. It's the whole season. Do you move DJ LeMahieu to third, move DJ to first, play Cabrera at third? Do you go out and get a first baseman? That's one thing. And I also expect them to seek more swing and miss in their bullpen. Their bullpen has performed really well, but from a standpoint of strikeout rate, they're not quite where a team would want to be at this day and age. So I do expect them to be aggressive. How aggressive, we'll see.
Staying in the AL East, Ken, it's official now that Cavan Biggio is going from the Toronto Blue Jays now to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Is this a situation where the Blue Jays are just kind of sacrificing defense for offense? What do you make of the move, and where does he fit in Los Angeles? Because we were discussing earlier before you jumped on that Cavan Biggio is almost the same player as Gavin Lux, at least right now when it comes down to their numbers.
Certainly for the Dodgers, Alanna, you know this, he fits as a left-handed hitter. And with Muncy out, they've lacked that a little bit. He's versatile. He can play a number of positions, second base, right field, third base. He's played some left field as well. This guy can move around the field. I think he's even played first. So they're not going to need him there, obviously, but they can bounce him around, and it gives them more of a left-handed presence. I don't know that he threatens Lux necessarily, but if he gets hot, certainly they're going to give that a look. The Blue Jays, what they're doing, and I wrote about this today, as you mentioned, it's really interesting. It's not just this move. Actually, this move was kind of secondary to some of the other things that they've done, sacrificing defense for offense. You go back to the 22-23 offseason, what did they do? They let Teoscar Hernandez go. They traded Gurriel and Moreno because they were trying to become a more balanced lineup, more left-handed, and also trying to become a better defensive club. Well, they've scrambled all season to score runs. They've got the sixth worst scoring team in the major leagues right now. And this is why they've done some odd things in recent weeks. They played Vladimir Guerrero at third to get Turner into the lineup at first, Vogelbach at DH. One of the things that a lot of people are asking with regard to the Blue Jays is why keep Daniel Vogelbach, who has not done anything as a pure DH, when you've got a guy like Cavan Biggio who you can bounce all over the field as a homegrown player? That's a good question. And now they've got Spencer Horwitz up playing second. They just basically converted him to a second baseman in AAA in the last month. They've got Davis Schneider in left field. These are guys that could help them offensively, but those are not their best positions. So the Jays are scrambling here, and they're trying to figure out a way to get more runs. But the biggest problem, Alanna, and we know this, Bichette, Springer, guys like that, Justin Turner has had an awful time since May 1st. Those are the guys that need to produce. So these questions that we're asking and things we're talking about are not as prominent.
Ken, is this the end of the baby Blue Jays? Is this it? I mean, and why would the Blue Jays sacrifice defense for offense? With their pitching staff, man, they need to catch everything possible, and they need to find a way to score runs. But this has got to be the end, right, of the baby Jays?
Biggio was number 3 in that group, right? It was Bichette, Guerrero, Biggio. So I don't know that this is the end. It may mark the start of the end, right, AJ? And certainly the whole Bichette Guerrero question lingers over this franchise. Each has an additional year of control after this one. So they're free agents after the 25 season. The Jays have not signed either long-term. I'm not sure they want to sign either long-term. And at some point, if this season doesn't turn around, they're at least going to need to listen at the deadline. I don't know that they need to do it then, but at some point, this is going to end if they don't start getting their acts together. And we've been talking about this, man, since the end of last season. So I don't know that it's the end per se, but certainly this team is one that is in a very interesting position right now, a very precarious position, because if this is a situation where they decide they're going to sell, then it all comes back to the general manager, Ross Atkins, and by extension, the club president, Mark Shapiro. And ultimately, what is their future?
Yeah, I think I picked the Blue Jays to at least represent the American League in the World Series. What the heck do I know? Lorenzen, Ken, you wrote an article about this as well. Michael Lorenzen channeling anger over free agency. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, it goes back to a conversation, Alanna, I had with him in the Rangers clubhouse in spring training. He had just gotten there, and he had signed, remember, after that long, prolonged free agent situation that he was in. He signs for $4.5 million, probably less than he thought he was going to get, certainly less, in fact. And he was just sitting in his chair and said to me rather calmly, every pitch this season I'm going to throw in anger. So I kind of kept that in the back of my mind. It was a very interesting comment. You don't normally hear players talk like that. And he said it very calmly, but it stuck with me. So as he has gone on this season, and he's made 10 starts with about a 3 ERA, I thought, okay, let's go back to him. Let me ask Michael Lorenzen about that and just about the way he has gone about it. And it's interesting to me also, he has succeeded where Montgomery and Snell, both late signings as well, to this point have not really done what you would think. So Lorenzen is an interesting guy, and he works extremely hard. He talked to me about building mounds in his backyard. He wants to build a pitching lab in his backyard. He is hell-bent on being the best possible pitcher he can be. And yes, he has channeled his anger in a positive fashion. He's actually a devout Christian. He's very serious about his faith, and he talked about that too. So it's not as if this is some rampaging lunatic out there. It is just someone who is upset by what happened in free agency.
All right, let's go to Derek Jeter. Anthony Volpe and his stellar defense. Are we getting to the point where he needs to be celebrated for what he's doing at shortstop in the Bronx?
He definitely needs to be celebrated for what he's doing, both offensively and defensively. And it's funny, Eric, a few weeks back, I wrote about who the starting AL shortstop should be in the All-Star game. And I had Henderson, I had Witt Jr., and I put Volpe in the conversation as well. And talking to some people around the game, fans jumped me. Oh my gosh, how are you putting Volpe in the same conversation as Witt Jr. and Henderson? You're just looking for clicks from Yankee fans. It's the usual. Now, Volpe is not Witt Jr. or Henderson. Those are two of the brightest lights in the game right now. He is, though, a really good player. And in talking with Aaron Boone before our broadcast on Saturday, the Yankee-Dodger game, we had our meeting with him, and he made a point of saying that Volpe's defense, which was Gold Glove last year as a rookie, has gone to another level. And here's a guy that doesn't have knockout tools, I would say, but his instincts for the game are amazing. He's a really smart player. He's always working. And yes, he deserves to be celebrated, no question. I know sometimes Yankees can be overrated. If anything, right now, maybe Volpe's a little bit underrated.
Wow, Ken. It's a big statement for you as being a Yankee fan that you are. Did you watch the London series, or were you too busy, getting ready for yours? Because the London series, the game I went to, the atmosphere was unbelievable. Now, I know it was incredible in Yankee Stadium with the Dodgers there, but both games in London were absolutely electric. I know you've been over there. Do you think the Dodgers-Yankees is a World Series preview? And can the Phillies stop that madness?
The Phillies absolutely can stop that. The Phillies rotation is, right now, for me, the best in the game. And it's because it includes guys not only performing well, but guys who have done it. Wheeler and Nola, even Suarez in the postseason. So I love them. Now, the loss of Real Muto hurts them short term. He's going to be out a month, they say, with that knee surgery. But to me, they are absolutely a team that can stop the Dodgers, and the Orioles are absolutely a team that can stop the Yankees. This is not fait accompli by any stretch of the imagination, Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
All right, last one for me, Central. Reds, Royals. The way they've been playing recently, is this what they built their teams in the offseason, making the moves the Reds did, making the moves that the Royals did? Is this the team that we should expect, or are they going to come back to earth?
Actually, the Reds are playing better than they were earlier, so they've kind of regressed in a positive way, right? I guess that's progress, not regression. And that's a team that has a lot of ability, hasn't quite put it all together yet, but I like where they are. I like their rotation. Hunter Green and Lodolo and Abbott. It's a pretty good group. Now, they're going to probably need help at the deadline. They've got Noel V. Marte coming off the suspension later in the month, so that should help them. But bullpen, whatever they might want to pursue, yes, they'll need that. The Royals, last few days, not as good, I know, and their starting pitching the last week or so has not been as good as it was earlier, but man, it was really good early. So I still like them. I still like what they did in the offseason to improve themselves. Can they win this division when the Guardians are so hot? I don't know. Can they be a wild card contender? Sure. And they're looking for bullpen help. Their bullpen, it's funny, they've got the lowest strikeout rate, I believe, in the majors as a bullpen. Mm-hmm. And that's something we talked about with the Yankees, how they're going to try to improve that. The Royals need some swing and miss out there. So that's something that they're looking for right now actively, maybe another outfielder as well. I like what they've done. I like how aggressive they've been. They've been kind of, in my mind, a model for what a low-revenue team should do to supplement the young players that it's developing. And that's what the Royals have done. They've had a successful first half because of it, and I expect it to continue.
Can the Yankees have stomped the Royals? Is that a warning sign, though?
Yeah, it's certainly something that you look at and say, that's kind of interesting. And the Royals are not a perfect team, and the Yankees right now are fairly hot. That first game, they didn't even play some of their better players, right? Judge was out, and they bunted. They did some other things. It was kind of eye-opening to see how they dominated that game. But to me, this is kind of a bad stretch for the Royals and a good stretch for the Yankees coinciding. So I don't know that we can put too much stock in it. The Royals are not the Yankees, but at the same time, they're a much better team than they were last year. And that kind of should be the goal, right? They've accomplished that.
All you can do is ask for progress year in and year out. Ken Rosenthal, the busiest man in the game. What's coming up on Fair Territory tomorrow? You and I, tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. We're going to see you then. Thanks for being here on Foul, Ken. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Ken Rosenthal, Fair Territory is tomorrow, Mondays and Thursdays, live on Thursdays at 12:30 Eastern. And then on Monday, Kenny does it all himself, the Lonesome Man on Monday at 12:30 Eastern as well, Fair Territory with Ken Rosenthal. All right, we also want to talk about our great partners in terms of Baseballism. We appreciate them very much. Baseballism, the official lifestyle brand of baseball. Head to their website now. Let's take a listen, though, to what Todd Frazier first has to say about a key defensive play, and then we'll talk a little bit more baseballism after that.
Hey guys, Todd Frazier here. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm here to talk about a little defense. As a younger player, it's harder to make those plays, but it's key to find a way to doing it. I always like to work on my part that I'm not really good at, and that's my backhand. And I think as you get older, you get better at it, but at the same time, it's very hard. So what I would tell you to do first, if you can get a smaller glove to make it harder for yourself, that would be good, so you can feel your fingers both moving. So you're going to need your pointer and your thumb to squeeze the ball. Get on one knee as well. So this will make it a little easier for you so you can see the ball going into the glove. So as I get on one knee, we want to use our eyes and our hands together. So when I get that one hop, boom, my eyes and my hands are coming through the ball. Watch again. Boom, through. We don't want to be passive, we want to reach up. So watch, when I reach up for it, then I'm coming through. Kind of afraid of the ball. Come through the ball and let your eyes tell you a story. One more, through and through it there. Easy stuff, do it over and over. Have fun with it, don't get frustrated.
All right, thanks, Todd. Baseballism is awesome, the official lifestyle brand of baseball. Head to their website now at baseballism.com to check out their Father's Day collection and the Legend of Tony Gwynn collection available now. I know that you guys have known Eric, you're wearing the gear right now, right? The hat, the shirt, the whole deal. I think AJ may have one on too, but I've known these guys for a really long time. It is legit the best gear in the game. We appreciate Baseballism for being a part of it.
100%. 100% the best. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just a cool gear. I wish you could see the back of the jersey. It's like it's a home plate. The shirt says hustle, and then it's like, it says something along the lines of, if you don't hustle, somebody else will. So it's just good baseball stuff. And man, the freaking shirts are so comfortable.
They're soft. They're sweet. I love them. Yeah, you don't want to get Wally pipped. You better hustle, Kratz. You know better than that. You hustled your whole career. Appreciate that. Appreciate that about you. All right, time now for the, I think we're going to the hot corner, right? Let's talk a little bit about the Boston Red Sox, if we talk about them. And Henry's comments about how fans perhaps are a little unrealistic in terms of what they expect, how teams' payroll correlates to winning. So this just came out, AJ, in the Financial Times newspaper, that Henry said, because fans expect championships almost annually, they easily become frustrated and are not going to buy into what the odds actually are. So meaning 1 in 20 or 1 in 30. I'm sorry. If I'm the Boston Red Sox fans, I don't want to hear it. First of all, you cannot cry poor, and you certainly, not in this fan base, can say that the fans are unrealistic in their expectation. What do you think this means, guys, for the Red Sox heading into this trade deadline, AJ?
Yeah, they're going to sell. John Henry just basically said, we're not winning, and we're going to sell everything, and I think it's horse crap. They're the Red Sox, dude. They own They own Liverpool. They own Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, they're rich, and I just hate that because the Red Sox for years were them and the Yankees right at the top, and now the Yankees don't want to spend, and or the Red Sox don't want to spend, and I don't know why. John Henry's got plenty of money. He's got more money than he knows what to do with, so he should go out there and spend the money on players and try to make the fans happy because they've been really bad the last few years. Last place finish. Yeah, they won in 2018. But since then, they haven't been very good. I think they've been one good year, and the rest have been awful.
Comment for me from the whole 1 in 20. Like he's like, oh, the odds of really winning are 1 in 20, 1 in 30. It's kind of indicative to what we heard from Jerry DiPoto in Seattle. 54% of the time. Should it be said? Yeah, obviously, you have a 1 in 30 chance of winning the World Series. As the Boston Red Sox, as the fans have put money in your pocket, have fattened up your wallet to go and buy other endeavors, like you should think those odds are in your favor because not everybody has the resources you do. Not everybody has the backing of the fans. And the more you have comments like this, the more it shows you're disconnected from the fan base that has supported you and supported your team. And you own a team. Yes, you want to make money, but you own a team because you want to win. Go own a business if you just want to make money.
Yeah, it stinks. I don't ever want to hear an owner cry poor because if the people think players make a lot of money, the owners make way more than the players do. So I don't want to hear it. I really don't. All right, we're going to be right back right after this with Erick Fedde.
Unified Healing is sponsoring this episode of Foul Territory. Unified Healing is an innovative global network of wellness centers powered by Energy Enhancement System, or EE System. This technology promotes wellness and deep relaxation, and there are hundreds of locations across the globe. Interested in experiencing the EE System technology for yourself? Go to unifydhealing.com/foul to learn more and find a center near you. That's UNIFYD healing.com/FOUL. No material or testimonials on the Unified Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including EE System.
All right, thanks for that. I feel like we're in a spa. When you listen to Scott read that Unified ad, it's like very, very calming. Hello, Erick Fedde. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks for being here. All right, AJ, I'll let you take this one at the top here.
There's no taking anything at the top. Eric, how's Seattle? And how did Mr. Thorpe look last night?
I actually really enjoy Seattle. I think it's a great city, but Thorpe looked awesome. Had a very short meeting with him in, I guess, spring training when we traded for him kind of late there, and he showed he had great stuff, and I think just from our stance in the big leagues, we could see him in Double-A dominating constantly. So was excited to get him up here, and he looked great. I mean, had great poise. Pitched well and gave us a great chance to win.
Our him Crochet, some of the young guys, are they the future of the White Sox organization? Because obviously Thorpe came in late in spring training, but you got to see a lot of these guys. You've been around a little bit now, so are they the future of the White Sox organization? Because I know you signed a 2-year deal, but 5-6 years from now, are we looking at Crochet and Thorpe as the leaders of the staff?
I sure hope so. I mean, getting to work with Crochet, he's unbelievable. I think without a doubt, a frontline ace, a guy that, can, be a horse and carry the club as a true ace. And then, Thorpe showed great stuff. One start is what it is, but I think he definitely has top of the rotation stuff. Cannon and Nastrini both have, quality stuff. I think they have a good core that they're building, and some guys that I think down the line that they can really count on to have a great rotation.
Being an ex prospect and your career went the route that it went, what kind of advice do you give to those young guys that are just coming up?
I think the big leagues is definitely a different level. You have to be really clean when it comes to the small things. I know last night those guys the Mariners were picking pitches out of Thorpe's glove, and that's probably not something that's happening in Double A. And those are things we clean up, and it's hard enough to pitch and get outs here, and you don't want to give them any advantages. And I think it comes to little things like holding runners better, or not letting teams catch on to things that you're tipping, and then trusting your stuff and making the small adjustments where needed. I think for me personally, I didn't make those adjustments fast enough, and got caught in just mediocrity, and just trusting your stuff and getting to the point where you feel like every time you step out there, you're going to go 7 shutty.
We're talking to Erick Fedde of the Chicago White Sox. For those that don't know, you won, Eric, the Cy Young Award version and the MVP version in the KBO. So what's been the biggest difference between pre-KBO Eric and post-KBO Eric?
Probably Arsenal. The biggest change was the changeup that I've added. I feel like that is really, my fastball was one that was getting crushed in the big leagues the first time, and now the changeup is made people have to respect it a lot more, and can't sit on it. My sweeper's been much more consistent, something that I feel like it's a little sharper, and I'm getting to the glove side of the plate much better. But yeah, with those 2 extra pitches, I feel like it makes my sinker and my cutter even better, and just something where I feel like when guys come up to the plate, I feel like I can throw each pitch 25% and they don't know what's coming.
Did you learn that in Korea? Because you would think like you were over at the Nationals, you're a high pick. Like, what did you learn in Korea, and what's the difference in Korea? Was it because over there, because there's always been a conception that overseas they throw more off speed. In Japan and in Asia, they're more breaking ball oriented, more split oriented. So was that something you got over there, or was that something you had been looking for on your own?
It started a lot in the offseason before Korea. Once I was inevitably non-tendered, I actually sold my house in Vegas and moved to Arizona to go to a place called Push Performance and Next Era Physical Therapy. They got me healthy, it's like a pitching lab in the sense we, broke down some of my film in the sense of I go east-west really well, and how can we add a changeup to complement that? And then I added the sweeper instead of, I guess, a bigger curveball type pitch. And then going to Korea, it was a place to really work on those things. And like you said, they throw a ton of breaking balls, so those guys see those pitches well, and you can tell if they work. If you get swings and misses, if they see like they're seeing those pitches well. But a lot of guys there throw the true like fork splitter type pitch. So lots of guys to work with on that when it comes to perfecting your changeup.
Yeah, but couldn't a team over here have figured this out? Couldn't a big league team? Why do you feel like a pitcher of your status, whether you had success or not in the big leagues, you were a big league pitcher with first round pedigree, all that stuff? Why aren't teams figuring this out, and why do we have to go to a secondary, third source to find this out on your own?
I think it's pretty evident. Sometimes other organizations are just farther ahead in that situation. I think everyone's developing at their own pace. How much are teams putting into it? I think a very difficult thing that maybe teams find is maybe we have people that understand the numbers and how to throw a quote unquote like metrically good pitch, but then that middle ground of the person that is a pitcher to feed to like connect the two. I think that's very important. I think that's probably the toughest pitch position to find, but once you get that figured out, I think guys are seeing a lot of success from, I guess, an organizational standpoint.
Yeah, no doubt. What about the KBO? As an American player, you go over, you absolutely dominate. Like you're sitting there like, Eric Dames, I guess Eric's that play for the Dinos, the Dinos, whatever it is, just take home MVPs. But would you have stayed had the right situation not popped up in America, or were you like, no, I'm going back to the big leagues, after I dominated, there's no way I'm going back? Or would you have gone to Japan? Because I know some guys have success in Korea, and then it's almost seen as like a step up to go to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, NC was great to me. They have a little more restrictions on the sense of pay, so they offered me, in their sense, their max contract. But they were awesome. They were like, "Hey, we know it's your goal to go back to the big leagues. Like, thank you for the year, and we'll always be here for you if you need us." So they gave me the opportunity to go back. But in reality, my goal as a competitor, as a person, was to come back to the highest level and show I can do it. I'm not happy with the way the beginning of my career went. It was frustrating. When you feel inadequate, it's not a great feeling. And I just felt like I had this fire in me that I wanted to come back and be successful and pitch at the highest level. So yeah, my goal was definitely to come back to the big leagues. Got a great offer from the White Sox. They gave me the chance to come in and definitely be part of their rotation, and felt like a perfect fit. And now I'm here and get to put on display what I've worked hard for.
Eric, having been an American on a Korean-based organization, does it give you a little bit more perspective, perhaps understanding, compassion, when you have international guys coming to the United States from different countries to play in the big leagues? You have something in common with them now that many of your other teammates don't.
100%. I mean, obviously our game is very heavy Latin, as well as we have some, Asian players, but you don't understand what it's like. Maybe not, we're all away from our families in some sense, but they're, thousands of miles away, where you don't, accidentally come to the West Coast for a trip and you can see your family, or the East Coast, whatever. But yeah, you definitely understand how difficult it is to communicate, and, it feels like a whole nother world, and let alone you're trying to compete at the highest level. So I think it put in perspective how hard those guys work and what a tough situation it is, and makes me respect them even more. So, yeah, definitely something to bond over.
Eric, all right. So I'm the resident White Sox person on the show. Everyone else, Kratz,
Homer.
has 12 teams he played for. I'm a homer. Okay, Alanna's Mrs. Dodger. Okay, but I got to say this. The other day there was a poll that said the White Sox, and no one ever said anything good about the White Sox. So here's your shot. Say something good about the White Sox, please, because I defend the White Sox till the death. Everyone makes fun of me. So here's your shot as a player on the White Sox. Say something good about the White Sox.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I know our season is not going well. It's ugly. It's tough. But since I've been here, I've completely enjoyed it, especially from the pitching standpoint. I think Kratz is great. I talked to Giolito before I signed here, as somebody that came over here from the Nats as well. And, he had nothing but great things to say about him. They signed Bannister to kind of be the overseer. He was in Boston. He was in San Fran when they put together some Cy Young winning type players. And, I think from the pitching side, they've been great to me. They've, after every start, whether it's good or bad, we're working on getting better. And also, I think they've done a good job of taking care of our families. I think that's super important. We have a starter suite. When it's my day to pitch and families in town, they give us a suite. We have family trips where, wives are allowed to come and, help us feel comfortable. We have a dad's trip coming up for Father's Day for Detroit. That stuff's important. And I think they do a great job of, making our family feel welcome. And, when your family feels welcome, it's much more comfortable and you're ready to go out there and play.
I want to reiterate that, because you guys are not winning. It's clear, and it's not going well, like you said. But a team, an organization that takes care of families is exactly, when people ask me who the favorite of my 14 organizations to play for, that's where it's at. Whoever took care of my family and made them feel at home, because us as players, and maybe it's different for a pitcher, you feel almost disconnected from your family because there's so much rigors of the day, and like mentally you're focused. So to me, that's awesome to hear after we just talked about the fact that the White Sox, most players are like, I don't want to play there.
Yeah, for sure. Family's everything. I mean, like I said, when they're comfortable, it makes your life much better. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously so many things that go into baseball. And I think a lot of things that people don't see when we're at the field for 8-9 hours. I know everyone, when they go to work, they're there for a long time, but it's just when you're able to have them around, travel more with you, make it easy to be in contact with, it's a great thing.
All right. So I take that and I say this. How much has your family and friends contacted you about, ooh, I hear you could get traded. Ooh, like this is why you signed a 2-year deal to go and get traded halfway through the season? How are your family and friends talking about it? But also, what's your wife saying about it?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to things like that, it's, people love to speculate like, oh, you could get traded here. We hear this on, we saw a tweet or whatever it is. I mean, there's so much stuff, but I don't know. As a player, it's really hard to even think about. I try not to because, if I go and have a run of 3-4 bad starts, that goes away really quickly. So I just got to worry about one start at a time. But yeah, I know people love to speculate. Wouldn't it be cool if you played here? Wouldn't it be cool if you did that? But, in reality, one start at a time. Like I said, I've enjoyed my time here with the White Sox. So if I end up here and stay here, so be it. But it is cool in the sense to be in a spot where a year ago nobody wanted me at all, and now here I am where possibly that could be a thing.
Hey, Eric, before I let you go, do you guys do team dinners?
Yeah, we do. I mean, especially when you travel in like a day before, I guess, in a sense, when we have a night, or when we've had, unfortunately, lately, we've been traveling a lot after like night games, which makes it tough. Like here in Seattle, our Thursday game before we go to Arizona is at 7. So like we won't be able to have a team dinner. But when we get that travel day we get back into a city around 6 or 7, we definitely have team dinners.
Oh, okay. Because Kratz says that only good teams have team dinners. So I just wanted to prove him wrong, that even teams that are not doing well, they still have team dinners and they're still really fun, but they don't correlate to winning games. I'm just because I've been on good teams with team dinners and bad teams with team dinners.
Yeah, I still think it helps, especially when people show up. That matters to the core of the team. Like if you're having a team dinner and you got 5 guys showing up, that's one thing. But if you have a team dinner and next thing you look, you have 25 guys, it's that's a different feeling for sure.
I love that. All right, last one for me. We faced each other in 2018. And do you remember the game in Scranton that you pitched at the beginning of 2018?
Oh, Scranton. I mean, I'm assuming I was with Syracuse. I feel like I have to remember that. I feel like because I remember some of the players on that team. I think I remember that game. I think there was like
Clint Frazier and Mike
Frazier was a
Ford.
really big prospect. Ford. I think who's the infielder now? He's bounced around. I think he's with San Diego right now. Tyler Wade. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely remember that.
The only thing I remember about that game was it was a day game and it was a 7-inning game. So it was a day game. Just remember that it was a day game. And the temperature of that game was 28 degrees. It was the coldest day game I've ever played in my entire life. And you were throwing 94 to 97, just cue balls up there. And I remember I got a sac fly off of you, and it felt like I hit a rock with my bat. And it was like the greatest thing on earth. Because my next time up, I ended up bunting for a sac bunt. I went 0 for 0, and I survived. It was the coldest day game I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, I believe that. Can I get if anybody's listening in the what's the International League, please send Syracuse and Rochester and all these teams Scranton down to Louisville and Charlotte to start the season. Please. Those are miserable to start the year up there.
Nobody wants to be up there. Nobody wants to be in Worcester up there and Pawtucket when you were playing. Let's go down to Durham, Norfolk. Let's even go to Lehigh Valley. It's only like an hour and a half south, but it is ridiculous in Rochester.
Yeah. Don't start us in Buffalo where it's snowing, please.
I'm 45 minutes away from Worcester. I know a little bit about that spot. Pawtucket too. Erick Fedde, thanks so much. Best of luck the rest of the season. You have a great attitude, and you are a big leaguer, my friend. You can't help what's happening right now, but better to be on the White Sox than in the minor leagues someplace. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
All right, Erick Fedde of the Chicago White Sox. Guys, now time to get in the weeds. Let's get a little weedy. All right, we're going to start with this situation with the Boston Red Sox. So top of the fourth, there's an error, guys, that ends up leading to 2 runs. It's the Phillies, it's the Sox. Dom Smith and Alex Cora had very different views on the play. Now, AJ, we'll start with you. Dom said that it was not a routine play, that it was not an easy play to make that catch. Alex Cora has a different opinion upon it. What is your thought?
I thought, first of all, Dom Smith's feet got mixed up. I thought maybe he could have switched his feet around. It's not a simple play, but it's also not a play in the major leagues that you expect to be made. So, I mean, I don't know. It cost him the game. It cost him runs. It's tough, and I understand what Dom Smith is saying, but, you know, he just dropped it. And I think it was more of a foot issue than it was like just missing the ball. Because if you watch where the throw is, if he switches his feet as a left-handed first baseman, he can more easily move to his right. And because he was crossed up, he couldn't get there. And listen, it wasn't the best throw in the world, but in the major leagues, you're expected to make these plays. And it just sucks for Cutter Crawford and the Red Sox because it led to him giving up a bunch of runs, a bunch of pitches. And you see how his feet are Kratz, you played some first base. If he switches his feet there, it's a much easier catch. He just got a little crossed up and he couldn't reach it and he missed it. And listen, I missed pop-ups, I missed throws, I missed plays. Shit happens.
It happens. And I think if he just said, yeah, I should have made that play, like it wouldn't have been a thing. But like AJ said, if his right foot is on the bag, I know it sounds weird. His back seems like it's completely blocking the runner. Your back is completely facing the runner and you can't see anything to know where he's at timing-wise. But if that right foot's on the bag, now you're able to give yourself more leeway to your right and you'll be able to reach farther to his right. Instead, he was locked up because he couldn't spin back this way. You never want somebody's toughness questioned. And so if Dom feels like he was, what was said by his manager, then to me, they have to have a discussion today. And what I've heard about Cora, he's not afraid to discuss the same things that he says in the media to the players specifically. But when you're a 500 team that has a shot of making the playoffs, you got to come up with plays like this, and it's tough. It's tough when you don't get the play and it ends up losing the game, but winning my lock. Thank you.
I think that the bigger issue perhaps is that they both said something publicly that was opposite of the other. I think any manager can deal with a physical error. I think managers go nuts when it's a mental mistake. But I think the issue is Dom Smith is saying one thing publicly and Alex Cora is saying something else publicly, and they're supposed to be on the same team. So then people think that automatically that there's dissension and there's some sort of, chemistry that's not right. Should this have been, I know they were asked the question, right? But is that something that you talk about in the dugout prior to letting the media in?
No, to me, you assume that your players know, hey, you know what, I should have made that play or whatever. So as a manager, you're sitting there going, I wouldn't even think to question that Dom didn't think this was a routine play like I think. You think you're on the same page, but it didn't necessarily come out that way in the scrutiny of the Boston media.
Right. That's a tough place to play. I get it. Okay. We're going to have Eric Campbell of USA Baseball coming up here on Foul Territory in just a moment. That's a situation too that it also depends on the manager, Eric, because if you look at certain managers, right, like you have the Alex Coras of the world back in the day with Tony La Russa, Ron Washington to a certain extent in Anaheim, they're not afraid to call their players out, but they do it with everybody. You know what I mean? It's not like, I think the importance is if we're gonna talk about something, make sure that it's the same rules for every guy on the 26 man. Not just like I would call. I've been in situations where a manager calls out one guy, but then doesn't call out the superstar, and that creates some dissension in a clubhouse too.
It does in the media. And I was fortunate because I was on teams that guys didn't really have too much media griping. But the best way to handle it is to go right to the guy. Right to the guy. Even if you say it in the media, like somebody said something about me in the media one time, and so I found out about it. I didn't find out because I read about it. I found out about it because they came up to me the next day when we got to the field, and I was kind of ambushed by what they said. And so I went to them like, hey, did you say this? No, I didn't say this. Okay. Then let's go to the reporter and say, okay, what were the exact words? Play me the recording. And then we're right there. And to me, that's how you have to, that's when they say in clubhouses, we're like brothers, and that matters to the manager and the coaches too. We're like brothers. It doesn't mean everything is peachy keen and, rose petals and rainbows. Sometimes brothers fight. Often brothers fight, but they love each other the same amount as they fight.
Every single day. And you have to, as a reporter too, you have to be willing, if you're going to say shit about a guy, you have to be willing to stand up the next day at his locker and tell him why you said what you said. And I think players, you would know better than I think players appreciate that and respect that more than if you write something or say something and then they never see you again. All right, we're going to move on now. USA Baseball's general manager, collegiate national team, and professional team, Eric Campbell, is with AJ Pierzynski out in North Carolina. Of course, AJ's son is participating in a tournament out there, brought to you by USA Baseball. Eric, welcome to Foul Territory. We appreciate having you here. AJ, you're sitting right next to him, so why don't you get things kicked off?
I want to hear what Eric has to say. You guys hear enough out of me. Let him talk about USA Baseball, the collegiate team, and WBC, the team that once allowed Erik Kratz to play for USA. I mean, I think I had to ask his sanity because, twice. I never got invited once.
Yeah, Eric, why did you want Kratz on your team twice?
Material. You're not USA material. Campbell, tell him. AJ's not. He has great career, not USA material. Just say it. Say it to his face.
Yeah, he just, Eric. You're A to Z, Eric, and can handle any situation, whether it's in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Japan. You're the guy.
Yep.
Don't lie to him. Please don't lie to him. Please. Let's get into this. How come? I mean, I never got invited to USA anything. I don't understand. I mean, like minor leagues, 2000 Olympic team, Marcus Jensen, and, like these guys like Doug Minkiewicz. Come on, I wasn't in the big leagues at the time. I would have loved to have played for USA.
Well, we may have missed it, AJ. It just we're sorry, but we're here to talk about Kratz's heroics.
Yes. Just keep talking about me because most of the time we talk about AJ's stellar career, but the USA insignia on your chest, AJ just won't get it. It's fine. It's totally fine. He doesn't. It's like the SEC. Some just don't get it,
Well, he's here today, so his son's getting it. He's at an event, so there's always hope for another Pierzynski.
Hey, Eric, they haven't named the collegiate national baseball coach yet. I'm available. I'd love to take some time off away from Eric and Alanna and Foul Territory to, I don't know where the tournament is, but I would love to coach that team.
Well, we have named a manager for the collegiate national team.
Who is it?
Jose Vasquez from Alabama State.
Okay, what about the other team, the 12P team? What's it called?
The P12 team that Erik Kratz not only was our catcher, but he was our de facto manager and pitching coach. No, we're gonna get closer to that sooner than later.
Campbell, I got a question for you. How is that process since you've been with the Team USA for 24 years, USA Baseball for 24 years, the organization, how has that process changed in selecting the manager of each age level? Because most people probably don't know, you guys start at 12U, am I correct? And then working up international all the way into the women's tournaments, all the way into collegiate, and then all the way up to WBC. But how is that process of selecting the manager, since AJ, you might have a job for AJ somewhere. Probably don't want to keep him around like 12-year-old kids. Those kids might be hitting dingers and stuff. But how's that process changed in the 24 years that you've been with USA Baseball?
Well, when I started, there was really two national teams, the Olympic team and the junior national team. And as you said, Eric, we go 12U, 15U, 18U, collegiate national team. We'll have various iterations of a professional national team. Could be a P12 team like you played on in 10 and 19, and which I think in 10 we were non-25s, but in 19 we were non-40s. But in terms of staffing, each program director has their own slant, but we have so much programming going on that we get to know coaches at various events, just like this one, and eventually staff will move from an assistant on an international tour to a head coach on an international tour. At the highest levels, we'll have a senior GM from Major League Baseball, and it'll still be a process with everyone, and we'll come up with the right person.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. Since, you haven't never picked me for USA Baseball at any point, Team Poland's called, so maybe I need to go there. But, the Olympics are coming up in 2028. I know a great candidate. Bryce Harper's come out and said he wants to play. I mean, I think I could manage. That would look good in USA and the Olympics. But what's that process like for picking an Olympic team, and how much are you going to rely on MLB, whether or not they allow you to use their players?
Well, certainly being in LA in 28, we're relieved that we don't have to qualify. We're already qualified.
Because wait, didn't Kratz not get qualified one time? We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the player pool for that has not been defined. I've heard people dance around it, talk about different, whether there's an opportunity for a 25-man roster, non-25s, or if it's going to be non-40s again.
What would you like? 25s?
I want the best team that's available to win a gold medal.
Okay. Well,
and
which one would you want?
And what do you think that is?
Oh, if I was king for a day, if you're king for a day, you would want a big leaguers in the Olympics, but that's not either here or now.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, you're talking about MLB. MLB recently, I don't want to put you on the spot, but they kind of pulled out from USA Baseball a little bit. Do we have a reason for that? Because it seems like the perfect match. MLB, USA Baseball, connect, do things together, help grow the game. USA Baseball does a tremendous job growing the game in the USA. Why would MLB kind of just say, well, we don't really want to do this anymore?
Well, from where I sit, I haven't seen any pullback. I work closely with the commissioner's office on everything I do.
Very politically correct answer.
I'm not sure what you wanted him to say there, obviously, but
no, they killed the PDP, right? It's not associated with MLB anymore. Am I wrong in that? And also,
yeah, maybe, but on PDP League, the same thing is happening. It's just not called PDP League. We're still going to have 80 athletes that go to 40, that go to 20, and will play in a world event. It's just not called PDP League anymore.
You know what did it? I know what happened. Kratz and I coached in the USA Baseball All-American game last year in Seattle. Kratz's team was so bad that they're like, we can't do that again, because they were thinking about bringing Kratz back as a coach. So MLB's like, nope, no more.
I don't have all the details on that, Eric.
Listen, just because you spell your name wrong doesn't mean that you cannot ask me to coach. Okay, Eric? Like, we go back a long way before you even had gray hair. Don't get hit by a foul ball.
That's right.
Notice I ducked.
Is there any new initiatives that we need to know about USA Baseball, because the new facility that you guys build out in left field from the main field is, I heard it's unbelievable. I can't wait to see it later on this summer. But are there anything new that we need to know coming down the line from USA Baseball?
I don't think I have anything new today, but this facility is just going to serve our nation's players. It's going to be a hub. And whether you're at an event like this with your club team or whether you're on a national team, it's going to work really, really well, Eric.
It's awesome.
Eric, what's been your favorite WBC team? Just in terms of group of guys, Team USA group of guys that it was a team that you just really enjoyed being around.
Well, they're all great, but we won the championship in 2017. Luke Gregerson's father-in-law had this eagle that was like our MacGuffin that was with us every step of the way. He's on the wallpaper in one of our offices. The players all signed it. He made the mound after the championship. So obviously we won that one, but the other teams, players, staff, no less on the human side.
Did you I was at the WBC this year, or last year, excuse me,
yes,
in Miami. The Venezuela game was one of the best games I've ever witnessed, and I was just sitting in the stands. It was probably the loudest for sure I've ever heard Miami, but both sides, right?
Yeah.
Venezuela and America.
You got to realize that we're playing Mexico and Phoenix or Venezuela in Miami. We might not be the home team. We might be the home team on paper, but the fans are rabid, and our fans and the fans that we're playing against. It's truly a world event.
No doubt. No doubt. Campbell, I think we're gonna let you go so you guys don't get hit by a foul ball anymore. But I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate you sitting next to AJ there, because I know in that heat, AJ is stinking up a storm.
He's all right. Eric, anytime you need me, you got me.
You know it. I'll hit you up. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Eric. We appreciate it. He's a good guy. That was a weird setup. I appreciate Eric Campbell taking the time. It's hard to listen and hear and, answer the questions and everything that's going on. What did you like the most about just your time getting to know him a little bit? I mean, he has a huge job with a huge organization that's done a lot of good for the sport, trying to grow the game. And, you guys obviously have a really good rapport. What do you like most about Eric?
I mean, his ability to just communicate. As he's the guy, he kind of orchestrates, him and Paul Seiler. They orchestrate putting that roster together, but then they're not just behind the scenes. They live and die by the wins and losses. It is something that him and Paul are really, they put together a great staff, great coaches, but then they put together great people on the team. There's been prospects that have been passed up countless times on the teams that I played on, the two teams I played on, just because they didn't feel like it was the right fit. Look, they're picking me up to be on the team, not because I'm really, really good at baseball. It's because they saw a way that I fit, and it starts with Eric Campbell and Paul Seiler really just making those rosters be able to connect with each other, but also to be able to compete against the world's best. I mean, they went in the last Olympics and lost to all of Japan's Major League Baseball players. The Nippon Professional League stopped, and everybody was over there. Everybody that was currently in the big leagues that wanted to play in that played for Team Samurai, the Japanese national team, and they got second place. They almost pulled off the upset with the team that they created of non-25-man roster guys, some 40-man roster guys, but mostly just minor league free agents and young players.
I tell you what, one of the most enjoyable things I've ever seen is the WBC. I love the World Baseball Classic. I hate that it's every 4 years, only every 4 years. I understand why it is, but I'd love to see professional players, major league players, be able to represent their countries in the Olympics. So that's awesome. AJ, welcome back. Thanks for getting Eric Campbell on. We appreciate it very much. Time now to play Batter Up. Let's go. All right, guys. It's also, you can, in the YouTube chat, we check out your answers too. So I'm assuming this is where you guys guess who this batter is with their stances.
I mean, I would love to say that's Rowdy Tellez, but I don't think the physique is Rowdy-esque.
It's a little too small for Rowdy Tellez.
So I'm going to say CJ Abrams.
That was my thought. That was my guess.
Are they right? It is. Nope. Guess the player. That is not correct.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
right.
Oh, it is. Very good, guys. What about his stance gives it away for you?
His finish.
Okay.
It's a low, flat finish.
Mark Wiener just
Which
said that
some
was
people
Rowdy
didn't
Tellez at
didn't
both.
think he
That's
should be able to
right.
hit homers, but like that one right there, he backspun.
All right, so we got a right-handed hitter this time.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, that's Ozuna. That's Marcelo Ozuna.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Why? Because he
Marcell
keeps back
Ozuna,
the
that
backswing
little-
where he keeps hitting catchers in the helmet.
Yeah, that one. He hurt your best friend Will Smith. But you know what?
And
it
my
happens to
husband,
everybody.
Chris
But also
Iannetta. He hits everybody in the backswing. It's not has nothing to do with me.
it's you have your favorites. You have your favorites. The toe tap gets it too.
All right, so you guys are
In a
2 for
setup.
2. We
In a
got
setup with the
one
bat
more.
up. The setup with his bat up.
Looks like he hit a home run there because he's running.
Is that Pasquatch? No.
No. It's
Anything
a nice
in the
big
YouTube
elbow
chat?
guard there too.
I don't know on that one.
Oh man.
Looks like somebody that hits dingers though.
I mean, that is a dinger swing.
Looks like Kyle Tucker from the other side.
Kyle Tucker
No,
from it's a left-hander.
Yeah, no, it looks like Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker doesn't have that finish though.
No? Okay.
No.
Dang it.
Oh,
No, it's not Bellinger. Someone's saying Bellinger.
Mm-mm.
McMahon, Ryan McMahon. That's what the chat said.
I mean, let's put it in to
That's
see.
definitely
I don't think
not
it's
Muncy.
McMahon.
It's not. I don't think it's. Muncy.
He's
You must say
American, and he's close to 24 years old.
Okay.
that.
No, it's not
Or
Muncy.
no,
He's
his
too.
number is close to 24. His number is close to 24.
Not Melendez. No. I don't know. For some reason, I keep going back. He's American League, so I keep going back to a Royal guy.
Verdugo?
Okay. I don't think it's
No, I don't
Verdugo.
think-
Verdugo has his start is different.
Where are all the
Well, let's
chains
just-
though on this batting stance guy? It's not Verdugo without
No
the chains.
chains. No chains.
AL East.
Wow.
Is it Brandon
he's on
Lau?
the Yankee.
Brandon. Oh, he's on the Yankees.
Rizzo?
Yeah.
Cabrera. It's not Rizzo. Cabrera.
Oh
Oswaldo
yeah,
Cabrera?
it's the home run that Cabrera hit just the other day.
Oswaldo Cabrera.
No.
No, that's not right either because he's not from the USA. Yankees AL East.
Come on.
Is it
I mean,
Austin
we have
Wells?
a team. Oh,
Austin's got
Austin
to be
Wells.
Austin Wells.
He hit that triple. Was it triple in Kansas City? Is that the swing?
I don't know. Let's find out here real quick.
Yep. You guys are
Home
correct.
run off of Merrill Kelly.
Oh, Merle Kelly. That was last
Merle.
year. He hits some dingers. There's no denying he hits some dingers.
Austin Wells. How's your son doing, AJ?
Oh, he's hitting right now, so I'll let you guys know after he punches out.
Oh, so we gotta.
That wasn't very positive. Why do you think he's going to punch out?
Oh, he's 0-2 again. Sorry.
By the way, Austin Wells is hitting .211 with 2 home runs. Mark wanted to let you guys know that.
he catches Marcus Stroman, so that's a little bit more important than hitting 211.
Yeah, he just.
But
you guys
Ben
ready to talk
Ben,
about some locks? Your Tuesday locks? You ready to talk about that?
I'm ready.
By the way, there is a free game tonight, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. It is the Marlins versus the Mets. It's the MLB free game of the day, streaming on the BetMGM app. Live streaming is available to all BetMGM customers who are logged in and have funded accounts. So enjoy that game, brought to you by BetMGM. Free game of the day, Marlins and the Mets. So here's the Tuesday locks, gentlemen. It looks like you both hit. Claudia did not hit. So AJ was Washington versus Detroit. And Eric, you had the Phillies -1.5. So good job there. You both hit. Claude did not.
Can we first just say something about Claude's picture?
Sure. She wants
AJ,
everyone to know she's a little girl.
That she looks super hitterish right there. She might have weighed 42 pounds, but she looks super hitterish right there.
That hat is 3 times the size too big for her head.
That is the first original Kratz hats. And then they were like, we need to get one that fits your head.
It's adorable. It's like one of those massive hats the guys are wearing in the dugout today. She said she was 46 pounds, so you shorted her 4 pounds, but there you have it. All right, money. What are we doing today with the money bags for you guys?
The money bags is just where we're at. Pap is clearly leading of us 4, but AJ is on an absolute heater right now. From where he was, he is on a heater.
I mean, what has it been the last week? Because when I started doing the show with you guys, he was 9-24. So obviously he's won every day. But it was even before that, right? He was on a tear because he started off really badly.
It was like 5-24 at one point.
Oh wow!
It was. I was even going to give you less wins than that. Like you've been, but honestly, his bets were very much. He was trolling our bets, but with his bets like plus 700s, plus all those things. So it was a good time. It was a good fun.
All right. What are your locks for today? AJ, start with you.
I got Michael King under 6.5 punch outs. He just doesn't punch out a lot of guys, and I don't know that he'll be out there long enough to get over 6.5. So for me, it's plus 100. So bet 100 to win 100. It seems like a pretty even bet, and I feel like he's not going to get to that number.
AJ, is that security behind you? Is that guy like just making sure nobody messes with you? Or is that just another dad?
No, that's just a dad.
Eric, what's your lock for today?
Another travel team dad that hasn't missed a bench day. But yeah, my lock is purely going with the Nats money line, looking for the Nats to win. Jake Irvin has been pitching well for the Nats. But Reese Olson has also been pitching well for the Tigers. The Tigers just do not like Reese Olson for some reason. They're 1-7. He is 1-7, and he has below a 3.5 ERA. So for some reason, the Tigers do not want to win when he's out there. So I'm taking the Nats at plus 105.
All right, so plus 105 for you. Michael King, plus 100 for AJ, and then Claude is at minus 125 for Olsen as well. All right, how about let's check out today's BetMGM promotion.
Swing for the fences. If you have the app, you can get single, double, homer, fly out, the whole deal. If you play the free promotion in the BetMGM Sportsbook for account holders, you swing for the fences. You have the opportunity to win a reward if you get a hit, and reward types include parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, SGP boost tokens, bonus spins if you're in a casino eligible state, and bonus bets. All rewards expire in 24 hours. Gambling problem or concern? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, guys, it is time now to slap hands. Did you happen to see the guy, the idiot fan that jumped on the field and then ended up getting tased? But the photographs, I tell you what, are Pulitzer worthy. If we can bring this up. Did you guys see this dude get tased?
His backflip before, I wanted to see what would happen if they tased him during the backflip. Like, does that automatically stop the backflip? Like, right here, he's like, all right, stop. Backflip.
Ooh, it almost looked like the guard was spotting him on the backflip. Oh,
it almost did look like it. And then he absolutely ate it. Like right here, He's not hurting anybody. Guard's like, all right, stop. Gerard Dyson, and then, AJ into third base, head first dive.
Oof.
No, I never slid it first, so that's not me. Can't be me.
Never slid. the old. You never did the old scorpion.
No, I knew my limitations. But
I mean,
I would
how
say this
dumb do
does a
you
hell
have
of a
to
backflip.
be? It was. I think he was almost spotted there. How dumb do you have to be to run on the field, or how drunk do you have to be to run on the field?
You're an idiot either way, drunk or dumb. You're both. If you're definitely dumb, and if you're drunk, that's no excuse. It's just awful. And you know what? I'm glad he got tased because he was running away from the security guard, and the security guard was like, zap, and he went
Zap.
face plant right into the ground. So he'll never forget it, and hopefully he got some time in jail and get a big fine, and that's it.
That is hate.
But don't.
There is a jail at for the Mets, right? There's actually a jail at what used to be Shea, now City. Is there?
Really?
I think so. I think there's actually.
I didn't know that.
I think there is.
There wasn't a vet. There wasn't a Phillies old stadium. The vet used to have the jail underneath that they would go and prosecute the guys right away. But the guy in Philly last year that charged the field or ran onto the field as the game was ending, they interviewed him. I forget what it was. It was like $1,000. He got fined and stuff. And they were like, yeah, you gonna do it again? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, before I ran on the field, I was already banned for life from Bank Park for running on the field last year. So it's the same dude. Like, come on, man. Like, go enjoy the game. Like, it just creates a dangerous environment. That's all.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't forget, guys, you can check out all of the Foul Territory merchandise, foulterritoryshop.com. If you want to wear the gear, the sweatshirts, the hats, the t-shirts, all the things, we appreciate the support. Don't forget, you can also tweet us, #FTLive, follow Foul Territory Show on YouTube and on Insta. Like, subscribe, do all the things. We appreciate that. Kratz hats, you are up. What do you got? Baseballism, I know that much. What's on the front?
Just the baseballism hat. I mean, appreciate
it's a flag man.
We're the partnership that we got. So this is just like they make huge hats for me. So everybody can have them.
Yeah. What's the size of that dome?
5/8, just 5/8. It's not Bochy. It's not Bochy style.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Tomorrow, you guys, I'm doing Fair Territory with Kenny, and then I have Dodgers Territory after Foul. So Hannah Kaiser will be on the show with you guys while I take care of those other two. Scott will be hosting from the other side of the world on Friday. Scott can't get enough of this show, so I think he's on a yacht, but he is hosting on Friday, apparently. So I'll be back on Monday. BetMGM with Hannah going into labor on the show could be interesting. So good luck with that if her water breaks.
Not about that. AJ's not about that. AJ's the doctor. He's closer to being a doctor than me.
All right. Good to have a conversation with you guys. We appreciate it. Follow and subscribe. Shout out to all of our members. We appreciate you guys too. That does it for this edition of Foul. We will see you mañana.